with. The Lord will mess you up. He is the one sent the evil spirit because he threw with Saul. And really it's an automatic step. Only thing the Lord had to do is move the good spirit. He moved the good spirit out the way and get that evil spirit, lead way that evil spirit on him like glue right away. And you say, well, what that mean? What the evil spirit go? Now you through. You ain't going to even be able to do what you supposed to do with the Lord as far as the Lord concerned because you didn't want to do it in the first place. So it said, but the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. Now that means he had the Spirit of the Lord. And an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. Now what? Now we know what this evil spirit is. We know it's an angel though, right? But see, this angel got control of Saul now. Some of the stuff that Saul knew was wrong, that he shouldn't be doing, he couldn't help himself. He was doing it. Go ahead, 15.
And Saul's servant said unto him, behold now, an evil spirit from God troubleth thee.
See, the people around him knew too. Because now he acting erratic. He doing stuff that he know was wrong. That they knew he knew was wrong. Just like later on he went to one of them psychic women. He had put them people out of the land. And said, y'all can't be in the land because the Lord don't like that witchcraft stuff. Well, he went to a witch later on. So now, he said, and Saul's servant said unto him, behold now, an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Go ahead, verse 16. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, read 15 one more time.
And Saul's servant said unto him, behold now, an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then
okay, good. Let me see if this is working. Okay, so now, see, they recognized and they had a means to, they understood how the Lord worked, so they had a means to kind of soothe it a little bit. But that was just a temporary fix. And see, this is another way the Lord was getting David on the scene, because the Lord was grooming David to take over for Saul, because David is the one that was playing to kind of soothe Saul. David didn't do nothing but try to help Saul. He killed Goliath later on when Saul was trembling. Saul and everybody was trembling in the camp. David, a little kid, come out there, a little teenager come out there and said, let me at him, let me at him. They didn't even want to let him go. He was like, man, this guy ain't nobody. Who is he to defy the armies of the living God? And so the Spirit of the Lord was on David. They run the other way. David said, let me go get him. And David went and got him. Because he was the next king. The Lord was getting him ready. But now, so that's who they end up getting. Verse 16, for verse 15 says, Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp, and it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from God is upon thee. Notice they all knew it was from God. They knew who was in control. See, we the only ones don't know who in control now. People got the nerve to say, well, God don't do evil. How the world you think evil happen if God don't have control over it? Right. God run it all. He run the whole thing. Nothing bad can happen without God allowing. Now, God let Satan do it, but who you think let him do it? Satan put his hand to do it, but he can't do it unless God sign on. You couldn't have had an earthquake over there in Japan and a tsunami and all that just happened the other day unless God signed off on Satan to do it. See, Satan be the one do it. See, we know how God operates. Satan is the one do it, but God signed on the line for him. Go ahead. I got to try to wake some people up. No, I mean, that's what God said. Go ahead. Now, we're going to go to 2 Chronicles 18. We're going to look at another example. Because again, that evil spirit was on Saul. He was erratic. He was jealous over David for no reason. You can read more of that story on your own. You know, after that, David out doing work for the Lord. They out fighting wars for the Lord. David come back, the women sing, David killed his 10,000, Saul killed his 1,000. Oh boy, Saul, that evil spirit had Saul messed up behind that. He was messed up. But why should you be messed up? David working for you. He was under you. But see, that jealousy was on him and he couldn't take it. He wasn't about the kingdom. He was about himself. But now, 2 Chronicles 18, we're going to get to another example. But we saw an evil spirit from the Lord came on Saul. Chronicles 18, 2 Chronicles 18 and 3. Okay, go ahead.
And Ahab, king of Israel, said unto Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, Wilt thou go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered him, I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and we will be with thee in the war.
Now notice that Ahab, see, Israel is split by now because of Solomon, David's son. He had done some wicked stuff at the end of his life, and the Lord split the nation into two entities. And one of them was the 10 tribes in the north. They kept the name Israel. And 2 tribes in the south part of Israel, they took the name Judah because that's where they was headquartered. That's where Jew became prominent later on in Israel's history. So anyway, but you know, they all Israelites. But the ones up north, the 10 tribes up north who was ruled over by different people at different times, they got away from the Lord quick from serving him. The ones in the south, the kings of Judah, you had a lot of righteous kings. All these were David's sons, by the way. It's David and Solomon's sons. They was halfway righteous a lot of times. So that's the case here. What we read about it say Ahab, king of Israel, will understand first of all that Ahab, that's the one he married Jezebel. She wasn't a prostitute or nothing, but she was a false preacher. He was wicked. He let her do all kind of wicked stuff. That's who this Ahab was. He was king of Israel, it said in verse 3. And Jehoshaphat was king of Judah. Now they all Israelites, but they just got separate entities now. They kings over their different areas. So he was king of Judah, but they hooked up. And Ahab is trying to convince Jehoshaphat to go to war to fight some more people, you know. And you say, well, that's my brother, you know, we brothers, you know. Why shouldn't we be able to do it? But not if you wicked. I can't help you. If you wicked and don't want to serve the Lord, I can't help you in this regard. In some manner. Now, if you got shot in the street, you know, I come help you and heal you up and all that stuff. That's one thing. But to go into some venture with you, I can't do that. And that's where Jehoshaphat kept making, that was his mistake. That was his kind of like you talk about Achilles' heel. That was his Achilles' heel. He would hook up with he was a righteous man. But he had a weakness for hooking up with these wicked men and going in ventures with them. He did it more than once. And the prophet came and rebuked him for it when he did it one time. And matter of fact, the Lord scared him where he almost died. This time, right here. He almost died. The Lord scared him to death. But since he still was a good guy, the Lord let him off the hook because the Lord didn't want him to die. The Lord was killing Ahab right here because Ahab was the wicked one. So that's what happened at verse 3. Ahab is trying to convince Jehoshaphat to go to war with him. But Jehoshaphat got some sense now because he's righteous. Verse 4.
And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today.
See, he said, look, I'm going to go with you, man, but you know, we need to get counsel from the Lord. Why don't you inquire at the word of the Lord today? See, Jehoshaphat had that much sense. But I don't know why he's going to inquire, because he's going to get a good message, but he's going to still go to war with the guy. But go ahead.
Therefore the king of Israel gathered together the prophets, 400 men, and said unto them, Shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle? Or shall I forbear?
Go ahead.
And they said, Go up, for God will deliver it into the king's hand.
See, now they told him. Now he got 400 prophets. By the way, you know they on his payroll. You know, you don't get 400 guys just like that to come that quick and say, yeah, it's good. Because they working for him. And you got false prophets that would tell you anything so they can get paid. That's what you got. You got this to this day. And it's a whole lot of guys, right? It's a whole lot of them. He said 400 of them, right? Even Jehoshaphat smelled a rat. He said, man, all these cats, it's 400 of them, but they operating as one. You know, you pull them out your hat real quick. But that's what they did. They came, all 400 of them said, he asked them, shall we go to Raymond Gilead to battle or shall I stay at home? And they said, go up, for God will deliver it into the king's hand. See, it's never a shortage of somebody willing to lie to you to get some money. It's never a shortage. And that's what we don't recognize today. We don't recognize what Jesus said, that there's many false prophets out here today. We don't even think that way. We go to church, we assume somebody telling us the truth instead of heeding the warning. Many false prophets. Well, here's 400 right here. But what Jehoshaphat was smarter than that now. Verse 6.
But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, that we might inquire of him?
He said, look, and I hear these 400, but can we get another opinion? It's always good to get a second opinion, right? Because that's just really one opinion, because they all together. They came in the door together. 400 of them. He had them on his payroll. He was able to roll them out. Look, I got some prophets. You want prophet? I got prophet right here. 400 of them rolled right in. And it showed you, boy, them false prophets get dramatic. You know, they had all kind of dances and stuff they doing. The Lord is with you. Go do it, king. Because they was getting paid by the king. See? And they had all kind of symbols and everything. But we going to see, but now Jehoshaphat was smart. He said, is it another one from a different direction? You got one more somewhere. I ain't asking for much. Just give me one more from a different direction. That's not with this group here. Just get a second opinion. In the mouth of different witnesses is established. Because that's really just one witness, these 400. But go ahead.
And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, is there yet one man?
He said, there is yet.
Oh, yes. There is yet one man by whom we may inquire of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
But I hate him.
He said, there's one more guy, man. I hate to even tell you about this cat. I hate this dude. Go ahead.
For he never prophesied good unto me,
Uh-huh.
but always evil.
Uh-huh.
The same is Micaiah, the son of Imlah.
Uh-huh.
And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so.
And see, now he said, look, it's one more guy, but this guy he don't never say nothing good about. Well, it wasn't nothing good to say about. This was a wicked king. That lets you know the 400 is bogus. This guy is wicked. You can't sit there and tell, act like the Lord is with him. So now, he said, well, I got this one guy, Micaiah, the son of Imlah. He a prophet. Everybody recognizes him as a prophet, but I hate him because he ain't never got nothing good to say about me. And Jehoshaphat said, oh man, don't be like that. We just trying to get some counsel from the Lord. Go ahead, verse 8. So he gonna call him. Go ahead.
And the king of Israel called for one of his officers and said, fetch quickly Micaiah, the son of Imlah.
See, Jehoshaphat, he wanted to hear from the guy. He said, but I don't know why, because he gonna get the message. Jehoshaphat still went and almost got killed. But go ahead.
And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, set either of them on his throne, clothed in their robes. And they sat in the void place at the entering in of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them.
See, they got to go dig Micaiah out. They got to go dig him out the dungeon somewhere because the king don't like him. So while they waiting on him, the kings, both of them sitting on their thrones with their robes on and all that. They sitting somewhere. Notice what it said at the end of verse 9. And all the prophets prophesied before them. That means they putting on a show. You know how preachers be clowning, right? Like that make it true. Just because you sit up there and clown and dance all over the stage, scream and holler, got on a big robe and all kind of crosses, that don't make what you saying true. I'm sorry. It don't make it true. But see, that's what they doing. They clowning. It's saying all the prophets prophesy. They just going putting on the show. Go up, king, the Lord is with you. Go ahead, verse 10.
And Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah.
Now, he one of the prophets. Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah. Now, what'd he do?
Had made him horns of iron.
Now, this guy got him some horns, some iron horns. Probably put him on his fat head. But he got him some iron horns he done made. Go ahead.
And said, thus saith the Lord.
And he gonna put the Lord in his lie. He lying. But he got some horns. See, they put on a show for you. That's all they do. The only thing you missing in the average church, I'm going to be honest with you, is some popcorn and pop, like Brother Nehemiah say. Because you getting the show. So he got some horns, some iron horns he got, right? Go ahead. And what he do?
It said, thus saith the Lord, with these thou shalt push Syria until they be consumed.
See, now, you see how he read it, but you know this guy was more dramatic than that, right? You know he went all the way to the max with it. He got him some iron. You know he ain't got them horns for nothing. He finna showboat a little. He got him some iron horns.